Greetings, Phantomaniacs! Welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are looking at the ultimate Count Dracula from NECA. I've actually had this in the pile for a while, and it's just, you know, things happen, you get behind, and but now it is the Count's turn. Love the picture on the side with the kind of classic light across the eyes that was used also to great effect in the Addams Family on Morticia. I love the backs of these boxes, and this one is a little different from some of the others. They've left out some of the sort of postery elements in favor of making this look more sort of dark, mystical, just a weird collection of images of the Count, featuring Bela Lugosi's likeness, which is great because for a long time you couldn't get Dracula action figures that featured his likeness. On the front of the box you get the really nice poster art and then the gloss on his image and on Dracula itself. So there you go, open up the front, there he is, lots of options, looks fantastic. Nice image of the figure there. So let's open it up and see what we've got. Oh, and of course the Lugosi estate has their logo on there, and then everybody at NECA who was involved in the creation of this piece of art is credited on the box. Very nice touch. I've been loving these Universal Monsters figures. When NECA initially announced them, I kind of thought, well, I've got all the Sideshow ones. I just don't need more Universal Monsters figures because how many do you need, really? But these have been so fantastic that they've been a delight to collect and to open and to... I keep going back to the shelf and doing different things with them. That's just our background piece. I was talking about other stuff. We have Dracula's cape taped in a bag in the back here. We'll take that out and set it to the side. That's got already, I can tell it's got a nice heft to it. Lots of stuff in here. Definitely the most accessories of any Dracula figure that I have purchased. We've got our great plastic cover here in order to avoid taping any of these elements. Man, look at all this stuff. This is great. Goblets and hands and bat flying stands. Everything you might want. Set that off to the side. I've got a couple of alternate portraits here. You know, somebody commented on one of my other videos. They said, stop calling them portraits. They're called head sculpts. And no, they're not. A head sculpt is this minus the paint. This finished product is called a portrait. That is the correct terminology there. So thank you for your input, but you are wrong, sir. Which I believe I said something maybe a little nicer than that in the comments. All right, let's snip through all of these annoying plastic... Oh, that... Okay, so that was nice. Usually these things are drawn so tight they're a little difficult to get out of the packaging. Look at this bat. This is great. But our bat friend was a little looser. The Count, unfortunately, has the super duper tight little plastic tabs on him. So these are going to be a pain to get through. Absolutely hate these tabs. I will say it every time I have to deal with them for as long as they are a factor in toy collecting. I hate them. I hate them. Please stop using them. Everybody that does, but especially NECA, because NECA puts them in so freaking tight. Just doesn't seem necessary. And one of these days, I'm going to snip like part of my finger off, trying to get these things done, and then we'll see how NECA feels when I slap them with the big lawsuit. I'm just kidding. I probably wouldn't do that because I shouldn't be snipping these this way. Although, you know what? Here's something for the comments, you guys. How do you take care of these annoying tabs? I can't think of too many other ways to do it that you wouldn't chance damaging the figure. I mean, obviously, it would be less frustrating to slice through them with an X-Acto, but then you're taking a chance on cutting the figure up, so I wouldn't do that. How do you handle those things? Tell me in the comments. I'd be curious to know. All right, here is the Count in his incredible black tuxedo. Proportionally, he looks great. They didn't make him all like slender, like some companies have done in the past. Like he has sort of the girth to him that Bela Lugosi had in this role. The trousers, I gotta say, so these are not some of the better slacks or trousers or pants or whatever you want to call them, because they do have, look at this, they've got the tuxedo stripe going down the side, which is a great touch, and you can line that up if you so desire. There we go, lined up all the way from the hip down. That's a really nice touch. That looks great. It's nice and glossy. If you don't know, and I didn't know this until a little later in life, tuxedo pants have that glossy stripe down the side. Like that's a defining element of tuxedo pants. If it doesn't have that, then they're just black slacks. But this portion, NECA's gotten really good about sort of blending this a little better, but I will say it looks a little more diapery on the Count here than it has on some of the other recent releases. Not horrible, but just slightly more noticeable. And I think maybe because of the all black. I think that might be kind of the reason it's a little more noticeable here. But, in no way really an issue. The figure still looks fantastic. It's going to look great on the shelf. And, what else do you do? So, let's take a look at the default portrait. Just incredible. I mean, NECA has really got... It's so wild to me to think back to the days where you would get wonky eyes, or like the paint app would just be off, or just... I don't know when is the last time that I got a bad portrait from NECA. But this, just looks phenomenal. The facial expression, his skin tone is sort of a pale color. Now there's, they're doing black and white versions of these characters as well. And I appreciate that, but they're not of interest to me because it would just look weird on the shelf with all my other color horror stuff. So I prefer the color versions. But he has his sort of pale skin, but not like white pale. It's just, it looks like he's bloodless. It's a really, really nice effect. He's got dark, if you can see, there's sort of eyeshadow around the eyes. And then those eyes just set into, oh gosh, it looks incredible. The lips, everything. Just absolutely perfect. The hair immaculately combed back, nicely detailed. He's got the glossy buttons on the back of his coat. All the material has the appropriate, they didn't go too hard on the folds and stuff on the jacket or the coat, because it wouldn't have that, because it's a suit coat. But then on the arms, just the way that they've sculpted it to sort of hang and drape. He has got single jointed elbows that get a very nice deep bend. And if you want to put him on the shelf with that kind of turned in, well, then you've got, look at the gloss on the buttons there. So there's really no way around those hinges being very, very visible. And that's, one of the things that toy designers have to deal with is, do we have this glossy plastic hinge visible in the painted product here? Do we try to put paint on it that we know is probably going to flake off? Like there are so many decisions that toy manufacturers have to make when they're bringing a figure to market. And we've got to remember that this is a mass market figure. They're just certain, look at the ring, the detail on the ring there. Even just the veins and everything in the back of the hand, the fingernails. He's got a little bit of flash right there, but that'll scrape right off. just fantastic. The pocket square, and then the medallion, of course. The way they've done the bow tie up here, just everything. He's fantastic. He's got a nice gloss on his shoes. You can see a little detail in the laces and even the folds in the leather right here. Just an absolutely gorgeous figure. So let's move on to the accessories now. Oh, and articulation-wise, I mean, I always feel like, well, we all know how NECA figures are articulated. We went the elbows. The hips are your standard. They've got the sort of ball in there, and this part rotates somewhat to give you some different posing. And then the knees, which, are you even going to use? But the knees swivel just like the elbows. And then the feet are they are actually on. They are standard modern articulated ankles. Wow, I'm very impressed with that because the cuff of the pants hangs over enough so that you can't really do much with these. But these are the disc with the peg so that the foot rotates on that peg. So these are the same as, pretty much every other figure you buy these days. Very nice. Well done. Okay, so now let's take a look at the Count's accessories. We have got one alternate portrait with a grimace of fury or horror or whatever expression he's got going on there. Looks excellent. This might be... Okay, so this is the portrait that you could put on the shelf along with... My camera's telling me to move back to improve focus, but I don't feel like that's happening. This is the one that you could put on the shelf with the open mouth looks of the Wolfman and Frankenstein to recreate that, I think, Christmas card. And look at that. Look at the sculpt in the mouth. Like, that is an open mouth all the way through. Looks fantastic. And then the sort of hypnotizing look. The putting you in his thrall with the raised eyebrow. Or is that... No, I guess that's more... So this one is more that. This one is more of a neutral expression. But they both have that wonderful raised eyebrow. And look how, when he's smiling, how his face is actually thicker. Just fantastic work. NECA is at the tip top of their game right now. I've got a few different hands here. You've got one posed for holding the candelabra. You've got a you're in my thrall, I'm coming towards you hand. And then a matching hand for the left hand with that ring. Again, just that fantastic detail on that ring. Two goblets, both with a glossy red liquid in them. Those are fantastic. Those look great. The bottle of beverage has been opened. And... Oh, okay, that was just the label. So it's got the label on it. I was thinking it almost looked like it was translucent and you could see the liquid level inside, but that's just the black of the label around the side there. And then a tray with which to carry all of it. I imagine we've probably seen this tray before, but I'm not positive. And another NECA release. And then his ridiculously intricate, like, dragon or whatever that is, candle holder with the candle on it. The dripping wax looks incredible. The flame is great. Even the way the paint has been done around the top to simulate the illumination from the flame. Just a really beautiful piece. I don't believe... No, I do. I've got two. I think I've got two other... My 1/6 scale Dracula, I think, came with this as well. here is, and I think the Flat World Dracula also included that. Here is your bat with a big hole in it, but I mean, how else are you gonna look at the paint detail on the arms there, and the little feet? Those beady little eyes, beady little Dracula eyes, and this will peg onto that, and then that will plug into that, and you can have a nice vampire bat flying around your shelf, ready to menace any of your other figures who would rather not have a gigantic bat. Look at the size of this bat. So I haven't brought out the measuring tape in a long time because consistency is not my forte. So this guy is a little over 7 inches tall, but this bat wingspan is over 4.5 inches. This is a very large bat, and I love it. It looks great. Oh, and finally, almost forgot, Dracula's cape. Like, I kind of didn't even care. I totally forgot about the cape because everything else about this guy looks so... Oh, here's another one. Somebody in the comments, and if you're watching now, I appreciate you commenting. Somebody in the comments said that the threat of silica gel is greatly exaggerated, but I still think it's a good idea to keep your pets and children from eating it, right? Like, maybe it's not as dangerous as we once thought, but also don't eat it. So dispose of it properly, regardless of your opinion about its actual threat to humanity. So we've got a great looking cape here. We actually saw something very similar with the Casey Jones's Phantom of the Opera figure that I reviewed recently, with this nice plastic collar to keep it in place. This material, this fabric is gorgeous. The feel of it is incredible. Very, very high quality. So that is going to clip just ever so lightly around the collar there, and is going to, oh man, this stuff drapes beautifully. The weight of this cape is incredible. So at this scale, you know, getting fabric to drape is not the easiest thing in the world, but you can see how it hangs really nicely on the figure, and just, oh, looks wonderful. Wow, what is this stuff? This is very, very high quality fabric. They've picked the right stuff. Now, I will say this. In my head, and I could be wrong, Dracula's cape has a lining. Like a silver light gray lining. But that could just be me making memories up. It happens from time to time. But whatever the case, this cape looks phenomenal. And if it had a lining, it would not drape the way it is draping right now. So it's actually more important at this scale. It's more important to me for this cape to look awesome just hanging on the figure than for it to be completely screen accurate. Gosh, that looks beautiful. So there you go. That is Bela Lugosi's Dracula. Another fantastic figure from NECA. I'm just consistently blown away by this company now and everything that they're doing. Like I said, they've just hit their stride. It's near flawless release after near flawless release, and I'm here for all of it. They just keep getting my money, even on things that I think, oh, I don't necessarily need that, and then I see it in person and I'm like, gotta have it. So there you go. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about needless things, and remember, I love to count things. Oh wait, that's the wrong count. Sorry, it's too late.
Smash that like button if you like needless things.